All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin in the crypto markets. Okay, guys, we saw the pullback we were looking for yesterday. During my video yesterday, we were coming up right into this golden pocket and point of control of our previous range up in this previous range here. And we did see us reject from that area. We were looking for a possible rejection from this area where we would grab the liquidity into our resistance and start to see a pullback. Now, overnight, we did get that pullback. You can see we got this pullback to retest the value area high of our range that we broke out of. In yesterday's video, I talked about how we broke this range. Let me get rid of this range now. How we broke this range to the upside with a volume explosion to the upside. And now that even though we were looking for the rejection from this resistance, we were looking for a bullish backtest of what used to be resistance, the value area high. You can see here resistance, resistance, resistance. What used to be resistance to now flip into support to continue higher to our next level of resistance. Now, we did come back down to backtest the value area high, but you can see we front ran it just barely here. We didn't quite backtest that value area high. Now, this is a general region, so that is acceptable to front run it a little bit, but because we actually didn't hit it, it is a little bit more bearish in my opinion. And you can also see this move down that we got here was a clear three-wave corrective move to the downside. So when you're seeing a three-wave move to the downside, you understand that's corrective and that we might bounce from our support. We did get that bounce from the support, but what happened? When we bounced from that support, you can see here that all we did was come up to take the liquidity of our local highs as well as reject from our local golden pocket. So if we do a golden pocket pull from the highs of yesterday down to those correction lows, we pull that golden pocket over, you can see we rejected. We had a swing failure pattern into the golden pocket. How many times have I said that an SFP into a golden pocket is an excellent thing to watch for a trigger to take a trade? So you could have taken this trade here on the short upon the SFP and the rejection here. And you can see once we got that SFP and rejection, we dumped. We dumped straight back into the value area. And ever since we've dumped into that value area, we are just slowly chopping here in an ascending channel on the 15-minute chart here, and now we are in the process of back testing our value area high to see if we want to confirm price action to continue within this range, to continue for the fair value of Bitcoin to continue to trade within our range that we broke yesterday. I would say that breaking back into this value area is not the most bullish thing we want to see. Now, I do still think overall Bitcoin is still in a larger correction from 76.6, like I said yesterday, but I do think we can still come higher on this overall daily correction to the upside. So what am I looking for now? Well, right now we are watching what's going to happen on the chart on this bearish backtest of the value area high. I did a stream earlier today in Jason Casper's Discord where I talked about we were coming up into the process. I think we were right up in this area here. We did see a small rejection, made another higher low, and then we just came up in the last couple hours here, last hour or so, to actually back test the value area high. You can see we hit the top of the channel to the dollar, perfect here, and we are seeing a slight rejection here, breaking the midline of the channel, and now we're back testing that midline of the channel now. This to me looks a little bit more corrective as well. You can see this is corrective. Our volume, if we turn on our volume here, you can see our volume is going lower and lower and lower as the ascending channel is forming, which tells me that this is actually bearish dead cat bounce to the upside before coming lower. Now, I do think overall in this correction on the daily chart, in this correction, we are going to come higher. I think we can come up to this 88K to 88.6 or even our 90.5K area that I was talking about in yesterday's video, where we have multiple high time frame pitchfork confluences of resistance. But when we dropped earlier today, you can see we dropped and we just barely front ran that box of support that I laid out yesterday. What was this box of support? The box of support was the point of control of the range that we broke yesterday. it was our local golden pocket of this move up from yesterday. So if we take our golden pocket from the lows, the bounce of the Bybit value area low, up to our rejection highs yesterday, you can see that golden pocket was also front run. We did not hit the 618 of the golden pocket. We front ran it. So, and then we also have that anchored VWAP, that very, very key anchored VWAP from the 49K lows that is sitting in this box. I also believe we have a naked daily point of control in there. Let's check that out. Yes, and a naked daily point of control in this box. So this box of support is a pretty strong box of support here. You can see we actually do have a new naked daily point of control at the bottom of this channel. So I do think that we could come back down to the bottom of the channel, bounce one more time. Let's see, something like this where we continue to chop in this channel overnight, come down to the naked daily point of control, bounce, maybe come up to retest the midline in confluence with that value area high again, and then come down to this area to see the bigger support be hit. Now, I do not like how close we got to that support and we front ran that support. That is a little bit bearish for me because anytime you front run a golden pocket this closely, you are more likely to not hold it the next time you come down to it, but to just bust straight through it. Now, in the case that we bust straight through it, there's a couple things we can look at here. Let me get some of this crap off the chart. What we can look at here is, and I'm going to get rid of all these golden pockets now that you've seen this, but we did reject. Our highs rejected from the area we were looking for, our previous range point of control in confluence with our golden pocket. Also, before I go into that, I just want to go to our liquidity heat map. We're going to go to the Model 3 heat map, and I want to show you guys how we did take that liquidity that we were looking to take. We were talking about in the last couple weeks of my videos, these two clusters of liquidity here and how they were going to act as a magnet to pull Bitcoin up to those areas to stop out that liquidity, grab that liquidity and clear it before making a bigger correction to the downside. Now you can see our first cluster of liquidity was completely taken. Our second cluster, we only took about half of it. We still have some of it left up there. That is why I still think we can come up to this 88 to 88.6K area. That's another reason why I think we can come up to that area. All right, so we are chopping around here. If we lose this box of support, this green box of support, which is a naked daily point of control, regular range point of control, about our 11-day range, value anchored VWAP from 49K lows, and our golden pocket. A lot of confluence down there. We do have a new daily level at 82,700. And also our 786 of that same fib pull. Let me actually bring that fib back up and we'll change it to the 786. You can see our 786 of that fib pull is right below it. So this little zone here between the daily and the 786 could act as another support level. Now, this support level is not near as strong as the support level with my green box just above. That's why I actually do not have it marked out as a box. I personally think that if we lose the point of control of this range that we've been trading in since March 9th, that we will end up coming down to the level that we were looking for 2 days ago that we front ran. We have the weekly level at 80.7, and we have a naked daily point of control at 80.4. I'm rounding 80.4, as well as the value area low of that range right in this box of support. Now, because we front ran that a couple days ago, we also now have a liquidity grab into that area. If we go into our liquidation heat maps, let's go to our Model 2 heat map and let's zoom out to like the weekly chart here. Let's see, it was the 3-day chart. 3-day chart, just looking at the last 3 days of price action, look how much liquidity is down there in that box. This liquidity is ends about 80.4, 80.5. So we have some liquidity that we could take down at this box of support at the value area low. Now, anytime you break a range that we've been trading in for 11 days to the upside, and you see kind of sort of failed auction price action, and what a failed auction is you're trying to break that range and go into a new fair value for Bitcoin, or go back into the previous balance or fair value for Bitcoin, which was up in this range up here, and we end up rejecting and coming back into our value area, then we know, okay, we tried to get back into our previous range of balance. We chopped around a bit up here, but since we dropped back into our range, we can expect a rotation from the top of the range at least to the point of control where our first box of support is. Now, if the point of control holds, we might break the range to the upside and actually stay above it. Or if our point of control does not hold, we have a very high probability of rotating down to the value area low, which happens to be in our next major support box. So the two levels that I am watching, the two levels of support that I am watching locally, is the box between 80.7 and 80.4 or 80.3, I'll say, 80.2, excuse me, and the box between, no, that's not 80.4, I'm sorry. This is between 83.558 and 83.200. That's our first box of support below us. And also, because we front ran it earlier today, we also have a liquidity grab into this box. If we go into our heat map here and we go to just the 1-day chart, the 24-hour chart, you can see, let's see, there's one of the charts here where it shows some liquidity right below that area. Yes, so below those lows, right below us, into our point of control, around the 83.3 to, ending around 82.7 here, we do have some liquidity into this box here. Now, if this box doesn't hold, I do think that this area could act as a minor support level where maybe we bounce and make another higher low. But I think if we lose our point of control, we are going to end up rotating down to our next box of support, which is between 80.7 and 80.4. Now, other than that, if we lose this box, then we most likely, well, we have these lows down here, these poor lows down here around 79,800, 79,900. Let's actually go ahead and look at some of this stuff. So we can zoom out to the daily chart now, and we can look at our new daily levels on the chart. We do have a new daily level now right up in this area. We can mark that out. And of course, yes, we have the daily level that's already marked out at 82,700, but we also have a daily level. Let's see, was this hit? I don't think it was. So we have this daily level down here at $81,000. Let's go ahead and label that. Now we can turn on our points of control. We can look at our naked daily points of control. I'm going to get rid of this 786 now. So you guys understand that this is a small level of support where we could see a bounce between the daily at 82.7 and the 786 at 82.5. But I'm not primarily interested in that area too much. Okay, but you can also see down in this box between 80.7 and 80.4 is another naked daily point of control down here. So more confluence for our value area low support box. We have that naked daily point of control pretty much right on the value area low of this range. Now this range is different on Coinbase than it is on Bybit. If we go to Bybit here real quick, you can see that, let's go ahead and take this range and we'll extend it all the way just to get it there. And let's go ahead and you can see our value area low is higher than the weekly, not lower than the weekly. I'm just waiting for this naked dailies. Okay, so yeah, we do have the naked daily right below us here as well on Bybit. Now that's near the bottom of the channel of the small 15-minute ascending channel that we're watching. But look at this value area low here is a little bit higher. I do want to talk about this chart as well because we did. Okay, a couple things to talk about here. Let me go ahead and clean this up real quick for you guys so you can understand this better. I'm going to go ahead and delete this for now, this fixed range volume profile. And I just want to show you here, look at where we rejected on the bearish pitchfork. Now, this bearish pitchfork has been really nice to trade here. Anytime you come to the pitchfork bands of support, we've seen bounces, rejections for midlines, supports. We pumped yesterday up to the upper band of resistance, and that's also where we saw a rejection. So it was our previous range, point of control, our golden pocket, and our pitchfork band. And we dropped once again back into the value area of our previous range here. Right now, we're in the process of back testing it to see if we're going to flip back above it and start trading above this value area, or if we're going to reject here and confirm price action back within the value area and see a rotation down to the point of control or a rotation down to our next bigger support, which is near the value area low in the weekly. Also, you can see our our pitchfork midline could be in confluence with that area by the time we get down there, if that takes a day or two to happen. Okay, let's go back to the Coinbase chart real quick, and I also want to explain why we could see, not on Coinbase, on Bybit though. You can see, let me zoom back in onto the 15-minute chart, and you can see this line that I have marked out. Let me get rid of this one here. And I'm just going to get rid of this volume profile again to clean up the charts. On this dump back into the volume profile, you can see our value area high is right about where we're at right now, back testing our value area high. But on this drop earlier, not only did we front run the point of control and our local golden pocket, but you can see this liquidity grab, it's an internal liquidity grab from yesterday's pump. Now, this is important because this happened right after the FOMC announcement. And you can see this particular candle here on the 15-minute chart is like a Darth Maul candle, where we've got long wicks on both sides with a small candle body in the middle. So often what happens during these volatile meetings, like an FOMC meeting, is you get a lot of shenanigans that are played by the market makers. They like to stop out high leveraged traders on both sides of the market before continuing the move. So we were pumping into the FOMC. We got the quick dump to stop out all the people that highly leveraged long, liquidated them. Then we pumped to the upside, liquidated all the shorts that started shorting this because they thought, oh, FOMC's bearish, we better short. They liquidated both sides, and then they continued the move. Now, because we had the flash crash down into this area and then a strong buyback up here, you can see a long wick means a strong buyback. There is liquidity, some key liquidity of some longers that had longed in this area, and they are still in technically. Unless they set their stops improperly, their stops should be below this wick. They are still in the long trade. Now, if you were a smart trader, you would have taken some profit up here, or you would have taken some profit once you rejected on a lower high the golden pocket. But the point is we do have liquidity down here from this FOMC flash crash wick that is just below us that we did not take out on Bybit. Now on Coinbase, we did take out that liquidity. You can see here on Coinbase, the FOMC flash crash. Actually, we didn't. Okay, excuse me. I'm sorry. We even front ran it on Coinbase. So we do have liquidity. And look at where this SFP is. The liquidity grab is into our box of support. So we are just building up more and more confluences for this box of support between 83.6 and 83.2 to see a bounce if we can actually see a significant real liquidity grab into our point of control. Maybe come down to our point of control, bounce from that point of control, close the hourly candle at or above this level of 83.575, and then continue to the upside to that 88 to 88.6K. But right now, that is not happening. We are just chopping around in this ascending channel, and there is a possibility based off of our money flow. If we go ahead and zoom out onto the hourly chart, you can see money flow is still pretty strong. We're starting to round off now up here. There is a possibility that we can break this value area high to the upside and front run this again. Just like the other day, we front ran this box by hitting the Bybit value area low. We front ran this box and we saw a massive pump. So are we going to front run this box and see another massive pump up to 88.6K area of resistance? To me, it's a little bit less likely, but I just want to throw it out as a possibility. If we start to reclaim this value area high on lower time frames, on like the 6, 10, 15-minute chart, if we start to reclaim it and then back test it as support and hold it, we probably are going to work our way up to this area without coming down to our box of support. To me, that's less likely than rejecting from this area and finally coming down. but I want to throw it out there as a possibility based off some of the strong signals we're seeing of money flow. This momentum wave looked pretty strong earlier. Now it's starting to look like it wants to roll over. This would actually be a good thing too, because earlier today in the Discord, I was talking with some people, and as we were coming down here, we had no bull divs. I said, in order to take a long from this point of control area and golden pocket area, I want to see at least some low time frame bull divs in order to pull the trigger on a long here. Let's go ahead and zoom in onto our 15-minute chart. Now, let's get rid of this line real quick. As we were coming into this area, you can see we were not seeing bull divs. Lower lows on the momentum waves. That right there invalidates bull divs. No bull divs between this low and this low. No bull divs on the 15-minute, okay? We want to see some bull divs to take along here. Let's go to the 6-minute chart. Now, on the 6-minute chart, yes, we were seeing some small bull divs. You can see here from this low here on the first back test of the value area high, lower lows on the price action. If we drag this down to the momentum wave, this momentum wave, we were seeing some higher lows on the momentum waves, but our money flow was coming out kind of aggressive here, and we front ran the level. Now, if we had these 6-minute divs and we actually hit into this level, I would have attempted a long. I was ready at the charts, looking in the Discord, ready to go, but because we front ran it, I just didn't pull the trigger. I was patient and I waited. And maybe it goes without me, but you know what? You stick to your plan. Now my plan is, and I actually said this in the Discord as it was happening, I said, guys, it would actually be good to see a small bounce here that takes a little while and we grind and consolidate for a bit and then come back down to it, because then that could give us enough time to get some bull divs. So now look at what we're seeing here. Lower, higher, higher, higher. Now if we have a quick flush down into this area and we see another lower momentum wave, look at how many drives of bull div. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 drives of bull div, 5 humps, 4 drives of bull div. We'd be seeing 1 low, 2 low, 3 low, 4 lows. We'd be seeing much better bull divs with our money flow bottoming out and overall coming to the upside. Much better confirmation and much better signal to long this box of support. This is exactly what I wanted to see once we front ran the level earlier today. I actually wanted to see us consolidate for a few hours before making another attempt at that box of support. And also, a couple people were worried about this being a possible bear flag, including myself, because we did have, well, the volume confirmation wasn't the best on it to be a bear flag, but we were seeing the structure of a bear flag in here. And now that this channel has been going almost twice as long as the flagpole of a potential bear flag, that invalidates the scenario of a bear flag. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't break the support level, but it means that it's highly less likely to be an actual bear flag where we're going to take the measurement of the pole, put it to the top of the channel, and break down the same measurement because the length of the flag that's forming. All right, so now all we're waiting for is we're being patient, hoping that we get the rejection from the value area high, come down into this area. We would have very nice bull divs. If we zoom back out onto our 15-minute chart now, you can see now we are starting to develop some bull divs here, possible bull divs. First of all, money flow is now curving back up into the green, but if we can get one more rejection from this value area high and flush down to actually touch this support level, you could see here we would be making lower lows on the price action. We would have our low here, a higher low. That's a trigger wave. That's not a bull div. That's a trigger wave because this is a higher high on the price action. But if we did something like this, you would see a trigger wave in between confirmed bull divs on a higher time frame, a 15-minute time frame, and our money flow looks a lot better coming to the upside overall. That would give us a very good signal to long from this box of support. We're looking for confirmation. Just because that's a level of support doesn't mean you blindly set a limit order there and long it if it comes into there, because there's always a possibility that we can impulse straight through it. But we are starting to see better confirmations that if we get that drop down to there, it could be a great long to take. Now, I'm going to be going to bed relatively shortly here, so I think I might miss this Unfortunately, you don't catch every trade, and my sleep is more important to me than catching one trade because there's always another trade to catch. But that's the game. You know, if we bounce from this area, I'll look to short 88 to 88.6, or I'll look if we come down here. Let's see, if we come down here, bounce while I'm sleeping, maybe work our way up and break this value area high, and then on the bullish back test of the value area high, if we're holding that, I'll look to get in here and bring it up to this area up here. So there's always a way to find an entry. Now, of course, if you long the bullish back test of the value area high after breaking it, your technical stop should be go below whatever low is formed in this area, but that would be a majorly big stop loss. Actually, let's look at this. If we just long the bullish back test of the value area high, your stop loss would have to go below the low, so I'm just going to put it right below the box. Let me first clean up this chart so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, so if we're going to long the bullish reclaim of the value area high and the bullish backtest of that, and we want to bring it up to our target, let's just put it right into the middle of the box. That's only a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, or 2.13. So to me, that's a bit risky because your technical stop should go below the low that's formed as a technical invalidation of your trade being wrong. But actually, that would be the safer option. But because we are looking to long the value area high bullish backtest, you're longing here. What you could do is wait for it to start to bounce, get in a little bit late, like maybe in this area here, and then what you do is not your stop, you can move up to right below that low. Take it up to this area. That gives you a much better risk to reward ratio there. And because your thesis on this trade is that we are bouncing from the value area high, we've reclaimed the value area high, and we are going to come up to our next major resistance area. So when will you know your idea is wrong? If we break back below the value area high again, then you know your idea is wrong and you can get out of your trade. So that actually gives you a very, very good risk to reward ratio trade. Instead of getting in down here, you can actually even get a better risk to reward ratio trade by getting in on the bullish back test of the value area high. Now, this is all a scenario that if we reclaim the value area high after bouncing from our support level. If we come up and start to reclaim it before coming down there, like if we come up now, break it here and start to bounce, I'm not going to like it as much as if we come down to our box of support and actually grab that local liquidity first and then see that move up. That's what I would prefer to see. Now, the market doesn't care what you prefer to see, but as we are chopping in this ascending channel right now with low volume, with volume decreasing as we are chopping to the upside, it is a stronger possibility that we do rotate down to this box of support. Okay, guys, that's let's actually, I want to go into the other Bybit chart that I have because let's go ahead and zoom out onto the hourly, and I want to show you guys something here because this pitchfork is the same exact Wave 3 weekly impulse pitchfork that I have on the Coinbase chart. But like I've been saying in my prior videos the past month, because the pivots on Bybit are a little bit different than Coinbase, the midline is a little bit different. Well, look at where we rejected on the Bybit chart. We came up and touched the midline almost exactly perfect and rejected from the midline. Let's zoom out onto like the daily chart and you can see how nice this rejected us. Let's clean this up for a second. That was the previous range value area high. That was our golden pocket and that was our pitchfork midline. Now we bounce from our ABC correction target at 76.6 and we've come up to that pitchfork midline. This could actually be an area where we do reject and actually roll over to come make new lows. Because this is a strong midline. Like look at here, rejected, came down quite a ways on the daily. Do we reject here and come down quite a ways on the daily? But if I go to the same exact pitchfork just on the Coinbase chart, which I don't even have it on here right now. There we go. That same exact pitchfork, but on the Coinbase chart, you can see that on the daily chart, we did not touch it. Let me get rid of this. I know that I have a lot more lines here, and this is messy right now. But you can see that we did not touch it. It's much higher. It's actually even becoming higher than our 88.6K resistance just above us. It's actually getting closer to our 90.5K value area high of our previous range. But it is the same exact pitchfork. I do want to emphasize that. It is the same exact pitchfork pulled from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 4. I was doing some showing some stuff in the Discord. That's why this stuff is down here. Okay, so but like look at from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 4. Let's go to the same exact one. You can see here from the okay, actually I pulled it from, let me see here. Yeah, those lows are just different. It's the same exact lows, but you can see the wick on Coinbase is not near as strong as the wick on Bybit down at that low. Look at how much bigger that wick is on Bybit. That's what makes the pitchforks, even though they're pulled from the same pivot points of the weekly impulse, they are different based off how much longer this wick was on Bybit's chart. But because of that, I am paying attention to both of them because the two major exchanges that I watch first and foremost is Coinbase. But Bybit is a good chart, especially the Bybit chart, I'd say is the second best chart. It's better than Binance in my opinion. So I have to watch this and I have to respect that we did hit almost perfectly to the dollar into our resistance area on the pump yesterday, and we are seeing the rejection from that resistance area. Now that we are breaking back into our value area low, or excuse me, now that we're breaking back into the value area of this 10-day range that we've been in, or since the 9th, March 9th, there is a possibility that if we reject here, we will not bounce from the point of control. We will not bounce from our weekly at 80.5, that we actually could roll all the way over and make new lows below 76.6 just because of how high of a time frame resistance this was, and that we grabbed most of our liquidity that was above us. We didn't grab all of it, and that's the one reason why I say we can come higher. We didn't grab all of it. But I just want to throw it out there. I wouldn't be surprised if we do roll over from this midline rejection and come lower than 76.6. I would say, well, I understand why we did it now. It was a major area of resistance. Okay, so that's it for Bitcoin, guys. I know I spent a lot of time on Bitcoin today. I just wanted to cover some of that for you guys. Okay, Ethereum, not too much new on Ethereum either. We did yesterday. I don't remember if I covered Ethereum yesterday, but pretty much same exact scenario. We're in this little range here. We broke above the range clearly. You can see here we came up to the range, we rejected, saw a small consolidation, and then we busted through it with a big vector candle or volume increase candle to the upside, showing a real breakout of the range, and we came up to our 786. Now, I wanted us to come up to the bigger golden pocket, and it's the channel top of a different channel. Let's see, I think it's this channel. Yeah, it was this channel in alignment. Now, of course, that channel top is higher now, but, and actually what I could do here is I would actually re-pull this channel now. So because of these lows, this deviation here, what I would actually do is delete this channel. Let me delete this volume profile for just a second. And I would actually re-pull this channel from the lows to our new current lows up to our original high, dead cat bounce high. And yes, now it is actually in better alignment with our golden pocket as well. And you can see our midline is still highly respected here. Actually, yeah. So, but let's go back to this range. Here, we broke above the value area high, rejected from our 786 fib pull. Now this 786 was just from our prior hourly highs before this last big impulse down here to our lows. You can see that that was our 786. We came up to that 786, rejected perfect from the 786, and we actually have not come back down on Ethereum yet to back test our value area high. Bitcoin has already broken back into the value area of the range it broke yesterday. Ethereum has been a little bit stronger because it broke it to the upside a bit more, and we actually haven't even come down to backtest this yet. And so if we do come down a little bit more to backtest this, let's take our golden pocket from the lows of the move to the highs of the move. Let's turn on the golden pocket. You can see, where is our golden pocket? It's right at the bullish backtest of the value area high. So, and once again, we front ran it just like Bitcoin front ran its golden pocket from the low to the high. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick just to show you that. Bitcoin front ran from the low to the high. This box was the golden pocket. We had front ran it just barely. Well, Ethereum did the same exact thing. It front ran it just barely. So now if we do come back down to this area, we not only have the golden pocket and the bullish retest of the value area high, but we have an internal liquidity grab from the lows from earlier. So we could see an SFP into a golden pocket. How many times have I said that's a good setup to watch for, especially if the SFP is so close to the golden pocket like this? You hit into your golden pocket, you start to bounce from the golden pocket and the bullish backtest to the value area high. You long it, you put your stop below whatever wick was created here. If you want to be safe, you wait for the candle body to close at or above this line of 1951, and then you put your stop below that wick. You bring it up to your next resistance area, which in this case, I am looking at the area between 2104 and 2123, which is our bigger golden pocket. So I'll delete this stuff to clean up the chart. I'm going to delete this 786 as well just to clean up the chart. And if we look at our golden pocket pull from our last B wave high down to our C wave lows in that last ABC correction, you can see that our golden pocket is right in this box here. But also, what I would like to point out, it's also the top of the channel, our new ascending channel. But I would also like to point out, look how amazing of a support resistance flip area this is. So if we just put a line here, support, 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 resistance. Now, are we going to see it as resistance again? It is also a really strong SR flip level for Ethereum. So that box between 2104 and 2123 would be the next area that I would take profit on the long if I came in to backtest this value area high and bounced from there. Now, what we might see on Ethereum is we might continue to grind up to backtest this midline first, then come back down to the bottom of the channel, which would be in confluence with our value area high, in confluence with our golden pocket, see the bounce from the bottom of the channel, and then come up to that area. That is a possibility that I'm watching here on Ethereum as well. Also, if we look at our golden pocket pull just from the highs of yesterday to our lows of today, you can see that golden pocket is at the midline. That could be our local short area if we are projecting that we're going to come up here for a lower high, reject, make one more low, back down to backtest the value area high, and then boost up to the next level of resistance. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at our new daily levels here. So let's go onto our daily chart and let's mark out our daily levels. We have a daily level up here. We have a daily level. Okay, all the other dailies on Ethereum have been taken. So just a daily resistance above us, but no new daily support levels like we do have on Bitcoin. Let's go into our hourly chart. So you can see the dailies up here. Actually, the dailies it's closer to the top of the, rather than the golden pocket. But we have a daily at 2056. But let's go ahead and turn on our naked daily points of control. Let's look at our naked daily points of control here. Okay, we do have a naked daily point of control at our prior range point of control, the point of control we broke from yesterday. So that is going to be just like Bitcoin has one there as well. Bitcoin has a naked daily point of control at the point of control of its range. Ethereum looks like it does as well, so we'll mark that out because that is going to be important confluence to look at along from. Naked daily point of control here. And I do want to check the naked weeklies. I know that, nope, here, inputs, Okay, we do have a, well, this weekly is the weekly that we're in right now, so we don't mark that out because the week hasn't closed yet. The next weekly point, naked weekly point of control is all the way up here around 2184, 2186-ish. That is, if we break this level of resistance, that's where I'd be looking for another possible rejection area. Okay, so that is it for Ethereum. Now, if Ethereum does re-enter, if we do not bounce from the bullish backtest of the value area high, as well as confluence with our local golden pocket, then I expect to move down to 1904, where the point of control of the range is that we broke out of, in confluence with a naked daily point of control. And I bet it is probably, let's do this. Let's just go from the last lows of this range here up to our golden pocket. Yeah, it's also going to be our golden pocket of not the ultimate lows, but the lows after like this last impulse down. You can see the impulse down, and then we start ranging sideways. So it's the lows of the sideways range, not our impulse lows. But you can see that golden pocket is right there as well. So 1904 to like 1916, what I would say is our level of support. And if we do not hold the bullish backtest of the value area high, that is. Okay, that is about it for Ethereum. Let's now go to Solana. Solana, I do want to talk about this as well, because Solana's been ranging in this range here. Now, there's a couple things to talk about with Solana. We've had this golden pocket down here at the value area low of the range, and the other day when Bitcoin front ran the Coinbase value area low and the weekly at 80.7, Solana also front ran the golden pocket into the value area low of the range that it had been in. It is still in that range. And once we front run that, we got back above this white line here. I know this is confusing, but this white line here is the big range back from December of 2024. So it's a year-long value area low, a much larger time frame value area low. You guys should understand which one this is because I've been talking about it in every one of my videos. Now, we busted above, we reclaimed the value area low, we reclaimed the point of control, we even busted above the value area high of the range, and look at where we came to. I'm just going to delete this real quick so that you guys can see this a little bit better. Look at where we came to on our chart, to the exact top of the pitchfork band. Our pitchfork band rejected to the dollar from the top of the pitchfork band, just like we rejected to the dollar. I'm going to hide this for just a second so you can see that. Actually, that one we can click on and it can go bye-bye, and this one we can hide. But look at this. Rejected to the dollar from the top of the pitchfork band, came up to the dollar again from the top of the pitchfork band, rejected again from the top of the pitchfork band. Now that we've rejected, we are back within our range, our small range that we've been trading in since this one, March 9th. Since March 9th, we've been trading in this smaller range, and we have dropped back in the value area. We have not came down to the point of control yet. Let's go ahead and look at our point of control to see if there is any confluence there. So not the golden pocket. Actually, the golden pocket is where we're bouncing from right now as we speak. Not as we speak. The last few hours, we're seeing a small bounce from the golden pocket as to where Bitcoin front ran that golden pocket. But Solana did not. Solana's bouncing from that golden pocket. But let's actually go ahead and look at the 786 there, because the 786, oftentimes altcoins will drop a little bit farther than Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin drops to a golden pocket, the altcoins will drop to the 786. The 786 is in confluence with our range point of control, our smaller 10 or 11 day range point of control. But you can also see that the large year-long range value area low is very close by. So I would say this box of support is our support level now that we want to be watching on Solana between I'm going to say 125 and 124. That box is the box that I am interested in taking along from. Also, look at the way this has been moving down so far. This does look kind of, let's grab my pin. from the highs, a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. This would be actually probably a 3 here, a 4, and then if we see a 5 here, actually I don't like that so much because in the wave 3 here, in the wave 3 here, 1, 2, you only see 3 waves here. So we can't do that. But we could look at this now. All this is an A wave to the downside. This could be a B wave that we're seeing right now. And then another C wave down to this area. That would be a zigzag correction, a 3-wave corrective move, just like this was. 1, 2, 3-wave corrective move. And then you see the impulse up. So do we see another 1, 2, 3 corrective move and then another impulse up? That area, now if we would have to see how high our B wave gets here, because then you could do a trend-based Fibonacci extinction to find your one-to-one target, and hopefully your one-to-one target would be in confluence with this green box that we have on the chart here. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. This is 786 POC. Okay, so that would be an area that I'm looking for. If we break that area, we're probably going to come down to that value area low golden pocket that we front ran. And that value area low golden pocket is just from the ultimate lows on Solana to our bounce highs. If we turn on that golden pocket, it is still in confluence with the value area low of our small 11-day range. And you can see, not 11 days, what is it, 10 days? It's the 19th today. 20th today, yeah, 11-day range. And now we have a liquidity grab. Anytime you see a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, especially if there's a value area low involved and you're trading in a range, this would be the next area that I'm looking for support to come in if we break this area. Now, we do need to be careful here though, because if we break this first box, let me just do this, SFP. If we break this box up here, this first box between 124 and 123, 125 and 124, we are going to be breaking the value area low of the much bigger yearly range. So unless it's just another deviation, this box might not hold and we might waterfall all the way down. We have to be careful of that to our bigger box of support much lower. But as long as we're holding, I mean, there is a chance that we could hold this, deviate, it would be like a half a day deviation below this, just like in this area here, just like in this area here, and then we see that push up. But these two levels are the local levels of interest that I'm interested in on Solana now. The SFP into the value area low is between, let's see, 121.4 and 120.6. That is the area that is, if we break 125 to 124. Now, to the upside, you can see here that we have a box marked out. If we break this, of course, this pitchfork band, this upper band in the pitchfork that has been rejecting us now twice to the dollar perfectly, if we can break this to the upside, we have a very strong box of resistance above us. This box is the point of control of that year-long range, that range that has been going on for a long time, as well as our 786. We also have a naked weekly point of control in there and a naked daily point of control in there. So we do have a lot of confluence up between 143 and 144. That would definitely be a take profit area if I long either one of these areas down here. That would be a major take profit area for me. I am just going to turn on our naked weekly point of controls and let's see if there's anything new here. Nothing new. Except we do have that one up here, but that's already marked out. That's already written in the box. Let's go to our naked dailies. Let's check this out because I have a feeling. Okay, nope, nothing new there either. Just up in the box where we've already had it marked out. Okay, so that's about it for Ethereum, guys. I mean, not Ethereum, Solana. Solana is seeing some pretty strong money flow here on the 1 hour chart. Let's go to the 4 hour chart. 4 hour chart money flow is starting to round off here. You can see that it's starting to round off here. I do think we can drop at least to the first box of support, especially if Bitcoin decides to drop as well. But let's just keep an eye on that. We'll just have to see. Actually, that is messed up when you look at it on the 4 hour. The first box of support is this value, this point of control here between 125 and 124. Okay, next up, XRP, the man of the hour, or woman of the hour. Nothing has changed, guys. Yesterday I covered XRP. We broke out of this small range here. So from the, let me zoom in out onto the 2 hour chart so we can get a better look at this. From the flash crash lows, we've been in this sideways range. Now, we came to pretty much the top of the range. Let's go ahead and pull that volume profile here. We came to the value area high of the range. It was also our anchored VWAP. It was our box of resistance. We had this box here much before we came up there. You can see we bounced from the naked weekly point of control. I showed this in yesterday's video, so this shouldn't be a surprise if you watched yesterday's video. I'm actually going to delete this now because now it's not naked and we don't really need it anymore. But I do want to show you that we had marked that out as a potential bounce level after rejecting from the point of control. Now what is happening on the charts? We have come up to our value area high and rejected. Anytime you reject the value area high, you can expect a rotation down to the point of control. Well, guess where we're at right now? We're at the point of control. It also was our prior resistance area. So if we can hold this point of control, we could probably push up to our next box of resistance up here between 273 and 277.7. If we do not hold this point of control here, we're probably going to come down to the value area low, which happens to be in confluence with our bigger descending channel midline, and we do have a golden pocket. I'm actually just going to do this. I'm going to pull this box all the way up to the value area low. So now we have the value area low, a weekly at 213.78, a golden pocket in here, and a naked daily point of control in here, and the channel midline. So a lot of confluence down between 216 and 210, I'll say 209.92, so 210. That would be if we break the point of control we're at now. Now, if this point of control holds here, because you can see this looks kind of bull flaggish, at least to me it does. You got your big pull to the upside with increasing volume, and now you're forming this descending channel as a flag, a potential flag. If this holds, we could push up here. See another push up. Actually, let's go ahead and look at this. Let's zoom in onto the 15-minute chart, and we can look at this price action. Let's go ahead and pull a channel from the highs of the move to our lower highs here, down to our first lows. Yeah, it's a pretty nice channel that we're trading in here. And we've got to hold this. Now, we can consolidate around the point of control as we are now. But you look at, let's go ahead and look at our volume here. Yeah, I mean, like, look at this. You could not look, as far as volume confirmation goes for a bull flag, this is a textbook look at what a actual bull flag with volume confirmation looks like. Now, I don't just trade retail patterns, especially without volume confirmation. I use them for confluence. But this looks almost textbook here. Picture perfect. In the flagpole to the upside, look at your spike in volume. What you want to see is a spike in volume on the flagpole. Now, as the flag is forming, you want to see your volume overall decreasing as that flag is forming, showing that it's a corrective move after an impulse. All we're doing is look, patterns are just a different way to describe what's happening in like Elliott waves or other things. So you have your impulse to the upside, Elliott impulse to the upside. Now we're in a corrective move. Well, how do we know it's corrective? Because volume is declining as we're kind of grinding down in slow, grindy price action. Impulse, correction, impulse. That's all that a bull flag playing out is an impulse, correction, impulse. And so are we about to see this bust to the upside and come up to the top, up to this box, up our next box of resistance. As far as the bull flag goes, it does look valid to me. Now, I am not going to trade it as a bull flag just because it is valid, even though we have volume confirmation. You still want to wait for bull divs to form on the charts. Like if you're looking to long right now, actually, this does look very nice to long right now. Look at this. Lower lows between this low and this low. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. Now, even between these two, trigger wave, trigger wave. So these are higher lows on the chart, but we had the bull divs, and now we have the trigger waves. Trigger waves. Money flow coming back into the green. I actually don't think this is not a bad idea to long right now. You would put your stop, if you did long this, you would want to put your stop below the lows of the channel. These lows right here. What we would do is we would look at this. You're longing right where we're at now. You're going to bring it up to this resistance, or at least to take your highs. You want to bring it up to your highs first off. That's your first target, is your highs. Your stop would go below this low right here. That is a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio, 3.94. So pretty much a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. That is a great risk-to-reward ratio. And then your ultimate TP would be up here. So that is a 7-to-1 risk-reward ratio just on this trade. That actually doesn't look too bad to me. And yeah, so that could play out. We are seeing some bull divs on the chart here, on the 15-minute time frame nonetheless. Now, if we break it to the downside, we're coming down to this value area low and weekly. I already showed you guys that. So that's about it for XRP. Let's go to Chainlink here. It's getting kind of late here, guys, so I'm going to have to go soon. But I am just going to look at this. Okay, so let's zoom out onto the 2-hour chart. All right, last time we were looking at Chainlink, we were still in this range as well. This profile here, and we're still kind of in this same profile. You can honestly pull the range from this low all the way sideways, because this does overall look like kind of a bigger range that is forming in this area, a sideways range. But I still, you could do that, or you could look at this as a range just like with Bitcoin, and then you could look at this as a lower range like with Bitcoin. So I'm going to be just sticking to the lower range for now. You can see the same type of price actions happening on all these coins. Came up to the value area high, rejected, made a higher low, finally broke it to the upside, and just like with Bitcoin, we are rejecting back into, we rejected and we're coming back into the value area. And now on this coin though, we did we front run the point of control? Yeah, we front ran the point of control just like we did with Bybit. So both Bybit and Chainlink front ran that point of control. Let's check our golden pocket poll. Golden pocket's a little bit lower, but we should actually take the golden pocket from this low here. Yeah, golden pocket. Okay, that's why we hit our golden pocket on Chainlink on just this move up from yesterday, March 18th to March 19th. Yeah, so we did hit the golden pocket. We're seeing a small bounce, but we're just back testing the value area high right now. So same thing with Bitcoin. If we reject here, I do expect another move down. Let's talk about this pink line here, because this pink descending line that we're seeing is a much bigger channel. Let's go on to the 6-hour chart. You can see this descending channel that we've been in for quite a while here. And since we were kind of chopping around underneath it in this area, I was getting concerned. We did see that Trump tweet pump, but then we lost it again, made new lows, and now we're flirting around with the bottom of that channel, which is not a good thing. We really want to reclaim it and stay back inside of it to see some more bullish price action. But we're chopping around right at the value area high of our smaller range and at that channel there. I'm going to look at something else real quick here. So let me go ahead and hide this channel for a second. And I want to look at, first off, let's go ahead and do this. I want to look at a different channel. We're going to go from the lows here to these lows up to these highs. I'm going to zoom in onto the hourly chart. Yeah, we're in a really nice ascending channel actually on Chainlink as well. Same type of price action, but actually this is even from the overall lows of Chainlink. So this looks even nicer than Bitcoin's. Yeah, so we're coming back down to the bottom of the channel. It's also near our range value area low. Value area high, excuse me. We're at the value area high. We're in between the point of control and the value area high. So the point of control is at the bottom of the channel. We could see a bounce from this area to continue to come up because once again, we did front run our golden pocket area just above. You can see this golden pocket is from our wave C highs down to our wave C lows. Golden pocket was front ran. And we have a naked daily point of control also in that box. So I do think we could bounce from the bottom of this ascending channel, come up one more time up into this box. If we start breaking our point of control to the downside, well, there's a couple things we could look at. Let's go zoom out onto the daily to make sure these are fresh daily levels. I believe they are. Yeah, fresh daily down here, fresh daily down here. And our value area low is down here. Let's actually look at the weekly to make sure. So actually, let's get rid of this and let's mark out our weekly. No, we can't mark that out yet. Excuse me, that's not a weekly yet because the week hasn't closed. Okay, so if we break the point of control and the ascending channel to the downside, we can look at our golden pocket pull. This actually needs to come up here. This goes come here. Golden pocket is at our second daily and near our value area low. So we do have a daily before that at 13.35. And you can see we have the liquidity grab of the second pivot of the ascending channel into our daily. I would say that would be a smaller support level. Now, I do not like this support level near as much as the support level just below it. So the SFP into the daily at 13.5, but the much bigger and better support level, you can see the SFP of these lows into our golden pocket, into our daily, and into our value area low area. So I would actually, I'm going to keep this on the chart just in case, but let's just do this. Not the best. So not the best support level there. Okay. But I'll keep it on the chart. Now we can mark out our much better support level from the golden pocket down to the value area low of the range. This is much, much better. So this is golden pocket, value area low, daily. And let's just check our naked daily points of control real quick to see if we have any confluence in those areas. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, nothing. You can see that naked daily that's up in here. We've already got that marked out, but nothing really below us except for this guy here. All right, let's check something out. Let's do that golden pocket pull. Nah. It's a 786 of that area, but not even the 786. So we do have a naked daily point of control at like 13.75, but that's really the only confluence we got there. So I'll keep it in mind, but I'm not going to mark it out. Yeah. Okay. So I know this looks like a lot of different supports. I do not like this one. This one's much better. This one is even bigger. And let's see. This was the SFP into our value area low and our 786. Now, our value area low is increased here. We still do have the SFP, and let's check to see if our 786 is in there. But this level is actually, our 786 still is in there, and now we can bring this up to the 786 area. But I do not like this support now near as much as this support. because this SFP into the 786 is all we got. The Val's no longer there. Our girl Val left us. So I would say out of these three, the middle one here between 13,116 and 12,945, that is the real area of support that I want to see if we start dropping, hold us, and then make a move up. Of course, if we lose that, we can discuss. We do have the lower levels, you know, the 10 to 1020 to like 956 or whatever it was. But I'm not going to go into that yet because we're not even close. And then, of course, if we break to the upside, we do have this guy here. It's the value area low and the 786 fib retrace from the highs of wave C to the lows of wave C. It's also at the top of the ascending channel. That is going to be from 1622 to 1634. And then, of course, we got this guy up here, which we have a naked daily point of control, a daily level, and the 886. And that is from 17,065 to 17.2, I'll say. And then, of course, even higher guys up there, but we're not going to pay attention to those right now. Okay, guys, that's about it for this video. I know I didn't cover ADA in this video, but it's getting late here. I've got to get to bed. So, want to be up tomorrow. I am going to live stream tomorrow on Jason's Discord, so I'll see you there if you want to join. Peace out, everybody.